Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about 17th group elements, the halogens. Lecture 1 it is. As we know, in P block element there is a first 13th group is boron family, 14th group is carbon family, 15th group is nitrogen family, 16th group is oxygen family. Now it is 17th group, the halogen or fluorine family. Right. So halogens, the name halogen is given for ore forming salt forming element. Halogens are salt forming. Most of the main salt made up of halogens. The halogen always an important constituent of main strong salts. That's why these are called halogens. Fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine, four very popular member of this family. Astatine and tennessine. Tennessine is very unstable radioactive element. Lifetime for tennessine is just around in some seconds, I can say. So the chemistry of tennessine not accordingly established at, but astatine is a natural radioactive substance, so some chemistry also for astatine known, right? But the main important or main element for us in this group are fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Physical state of these elements: the fluorine exists as a diatomic gas F2, chlorine as Cl2, bromine as Br2 and iodine. Bromine is found in liquid state. Bromine is only non-metal which is found in liquid state, and iodine is in solid state. F2, Cl2, Br2 or I2, and in these gases form, they show color also: yellow for fluorine, greenish yellow for chlorine, red for bromine and iodine, violet for iodine. So these are color of these gases. All are non-metals. Astatine is metalloid and tennessine is again metal. Outer shell electronic configuration for halogens is NH2NP5. For fluorine it is 2s2 2p5. For chlorine it is 3s2 3p5. For bromine it is 4s2 4p5. For iodine it is 5s2 5p5. But wherever we write the electronic configuration of these elements, the outer shell configuration we get like this. Occurrence: fluorine is present mainly as insoluble fluorides in fluorspar, cryolite, fluorapatite, and small quantities are present in soil, river, water plants and bones and teeth of animals also. So these are that apatite family. Apatite family, in place of F2, if we put Cl2, that will be chlorapatite. If we put Br2, that will be bromapatite. Right, cryolite and fluorspar are known minerals for fluorine and aluminium also. Fluorspar for calcium. And in livings, that fluorine also exists in bones and water plant and teeth of animal. Our teeth also consist fluorine, right? Now chlorine, seawater contain chlorine, and the maximum percent of seawater, the many salts occurs in seawater, but the main constituent of seawater is sodium chloride, which is 2%, 2.5% by mass. The deposits of dry up seas contain these compounds. Dried up seas. In Run of Kutch, it is dried up seas, and it consists sodium chloride, carnallite, KCl, MgCl2.6H2. Same with bromine. Iodine also exists in seawater, but except seawater, it also exists in some marine life. Various seaweeds contain iodine. Right. Astatine is a natural radioactive element. It occurs with a different radioactive substance. It exists with different radioactive elements. and tennessine is synthetic radioactive element, right? Now, so atomic and physical properties of halogens, here we are going to discuss. First is atomic number. In p block element, it is fixed difference between atomic number in elements, like for first element to second element the difference is 8, second element to third element the difference is that again 18, and then 18, and then 32. 8, 18, 18, 32 magic number for p block element. Wherever in whatever group is there, we have the atomic number of first element, we can find the atomic number of all other elements. We need to add 8, 18, 18, 32, right? Now, electronic configuration, as we had already discussed. Covalent and ionic radius, the third part, right? Covalent and ionic radius. So remember, as the trend goes up, down the group, atomic radius increase, ionic radius increase, covalent radius increase. So it follows. There's no exception in radius. In case of radius continuously increase down the group, whatever it is, covalent radius or ionic radius, right? Okay, ionization enthalpy. So halogens have highest ionization enthalpy except inert gases in that periodic table. Even fluorine has highest one, right? 16 atm, the higher ionization enthalpy found in halogens, higher one, right? Highest found in many other cases, but fluorine has highest ionization enthalpy in periodic table except inert gases. Inert gases, helium and neon has higher ionization enthalpy than fluorine, and helium has highest in periodic table, right? Helium highest ionization enthalpy, then neon, then fluorine, then argon, then oxygen, right? Electron gain enthalpy, general trend for electron gain enthalpy is down the group electron gain enthalpy decrease, but here is one important exception, that chlorine has highest electron gain enthalpy than fluorine. It is due to small size of fluorine atom. Due to very small size of fluorine atom, it is difficult to maintain electron in outer shells of fluorine against existing electronic repulsion. That's why some part of evolved energy in the form of electron gain enthalpy is used to manage electron against inter-electronic repulsion, and that's why some amount of energy is evolved as in the form of electron gain enthalpy is reduced, and that's why chlorine has higher electron gain enthalpy or even highest in periodic table, right? So this is an exception. The order of electron gain enthalpy will be highest for chlorine, then for fluorine, then for bromine, then for iodine, right? Highest for chlorine, remember it. Electronegativity, as we know, fluorine is highest electronegative element, right? So it has a highest electronegativity, then for chlorine, then for bromine, and least electronegative in halogens is iodine, and acetylene is also. Now hydration enthalpy, remember that for smallest element hydration enthalpy will be maximum, always it is. So fluorine is smallest, so it has highest hydration enthalpy in their solution in ionic form. F minus is highest hydration enthalpy, then Cl minus, then Br minus, and then I minus. In molecular stage, F2Cl2 Br2I2, Melting point always increase down the group, boiling point always increasing down the group. Generally melting and boiling point increase down the group because atomic mass increase, and all are non-polar, so no other force of attraction interact with this. Density always increasing down the group. F2 and Cl2 are gases, Br2 is liquid and I2 is solid, so obviously density increase down the group. Bond dissociation enthalpy, it is very important parameter which define the stability of molecules. Also, generally, as the bond distance increase, bond enthalpy decrease. Bond distance, in general cases, bond distance is inversely proportional to bond dissociation enthalpy. Bond dissociation enthalpy, the amount of energy required to break the bond. If the distance is more, efforts to break the bond will be least, right? It is a common chemistry of our daily life. जिनके बीच में डिस्टेंसेस ज़्यादा होते हैं उनकी बॉन्डिंग तोड़ने में समय नहीं लगता, और जिनके बीच में डिस्टेंसेस कम होते हैं उनकी बॉन्डिंग तोड़ने में समय लगता है. तो फैमिली वालों के साथ डिस्टेंस मत बनाइए, बॉन्डिंग अच्छी रहेगी, राइट. सो डिस्टेंस यू कैन सी एज द पार्टिकल साइज, एज द एटॉमिक साइज इंक्रीज, distance also increase. So for the atomic size of fluorine is small, so distance is small. For iodine is maximum size, so distance, internuclear distance, highest for iodine. But the bond dissociation enthalpy, there is an exception for it. Okay, in case of Cl2, Br2, I2, there's no issue. As the distance increase, bond dissociation decrease. But fluorine has least internuclear distance, but bond dissociation enthalpy, it has also a small, just slightly more than iodine. So this is exception and came in various exams also. Remember, highest bond dissociation enthalpy for Cl2, then for Br2, and then for F2, and then iodine. It is very common question why fluorine has less bond dissociation as compared to chlorine and bromine, besides it has least internuclear distance. So the answer is because due to very small size, because fluorine, the size of fluorine is very small and it has 3 lone pair electrons. So 3 lone pair electron on 2 fluorine atoms, they repel each other by huge repulsion force, and that's why besides least internuclear distance, the amount of energy required to break bond between fluorine atoms is relatively small. It is almost comparable to iodine. So it is due to repulsion between lone pair in fluorine atom and also due to very small size of fluorine atom, right? One more important thing is there that we know, and it is need to know that halogens are good oxidizing agent, in which fluorine is best oxidizing agent. And for oxidizing agent, electrode potential must be positive, and it is positive and given as 2.87 for F2, and then for almost less than half for Cl2. So there's huge difference between F2 and others electrode potential. So fluorine is strong oxidizing agent, remember it. Now, so these are some physical properties. Here we are going for some chemical properties also. Oxidation state and trends in chemical reactivity. So the group oxidation state for halogens is -1 generally whenever they react with metals and less electronegative elements, right? However, chlorine, bromine and iodine exhibit +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state, generally with oxygen and with interhalogen compounds. It is because oxygen and some interhalogen compounds, in some interhalogen compounds it is possible, and highest oxidation state generally observed with oxygen and fluorine only. Remember it. Oxidation state of +4 and +6 also occurs sometimes in oxyacids and oxides. And you can see how that chlorine and bromine and iodine can show +1, +3, +5 and +7 oxidation state. In general condition, it can show +1 oxidation state, but in first excited state it can unpair its one paired electrons, unpaired one paired orbital. In second excitation again unpaired one more, and third it again unpaired last one. So it is 1 3 5 7, as it is one unpaired electron, valency will be 1, oxidation state will be +1. 3 unpaired electron, the valency will be +3. In second excited state, 5 unpaired electron, valency will be +5, and third excited state, 7 unpaired electron, valency will be +7. So by this way the whole thing progress, right? So it all depends on excitation, and all depends on that existing surrounding atoms available for bonding. As the oxidation state increase, covalent nature of compound also increase, because at highest oxidation state, that polarization of polarization of central atom will be maximum, and that's why the covalent nature also will be highest. As we are moving for oxidizing nature, the oxidizing nature of halogens decreases down the group. The radii acceptance of electron is the reason for this, obviously. Why it is? But the reason for oxidizing nature is different. The basis of to define the oxidizing nature, which one is highest, which one is lowest, are three important terminologies. These are three. One is dissociation enthalpy, other one is electron gain enthalpy, and third one is hydration enthalpy. Hydration enthalpy plays a most important role while determining electrode potential and oxidizing ability of non-metals. And as we know, as we had already discussed, hydration enthalpy for fluorine is highest in halogens and also in non-metals. For anionic form, right? So that's why it has highest. So the basis reason of oxidizing ability for fluorine will be dissociation enthalpy, lowest dissociation enthalpy, electron gain enthalpy. The main is hydration. These three criteria will decide, and the hydration enthalpy will be best one, right? For highest electrode potential or oxidizing nature, some of the these three terminologies or these three energy must be more and more negative. If it is more negative, higher will be electrode potential, higher will be oxidizing ability. Remember it. So oxidizing nature, they reflect in their compound also. Fluorine can displace ClBrI from their solution, from their salt. Chlorine can displace Br and I, and bromine can displace I only. Fluorine can also displace, you can see in reaction with water, fluorine can also displace oxygen from their solution. But chlorine and bromine are not so much good oxidizing agent, not good good oxidizing agent, so they cannot actually replace oxygen from from water. So in water they react and disproportionate. When we place chlorine or bromine in water, they disproportionate in water. Iodine never react with water. Even I minus oxidized by O2. O2 will be oxidizing agent for iodine, ion. So I2 never react with water. So this is very important information. You must know that fluorine react with water and displace oxygen. Cl2 and Br2 disproportionate in water, and I2 never react with water. Even I minus oxidized by oxygen. Anomalous behavior of fluorine. Here we are going to discuss about again. This is very general information. We had discussed already that most of the physical properties like ionization enthalpy, electronegativity, electrode potentials are higher for fluorine than expected from the trend set by other halogens. Ionic and covalent radii, melting point, boiling point, enthalpy of bond dissociation, electron gain enthalpy are quite lower than expected. Right? Anomalous behavior of fluorine is due to its small size, highest electronegativity, low fluorine-fluorine bond dissociation enthalpy, and non-availability of d orbitals in valence shell. These are the reason of anomalous behavior. Why it is? It has very small ionic and covalent radii because of the highest or we can say strongest nuclear charge. Very small. That's why expected quite lower than expected melting point and boiling point. Most of the reaction of fluorine are exothermic because it form strong bond with elements. It form only one oxyacid, other form almost 4, right? One oxyacid, that is HOF. Hydrogen fluoride is a liquid due to strong hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bond is formed in HF due to small size and higher electronegativity of fluorine. And the other hydrogen halide which have bigger size and less electronegativity are gases. So hydrogen fluoride, the fluoride of hydrogen is hydrogen fluoride is found in liquid state, show hydrogen bonding. Hydrogen bonding observed in such compound where most electronegative atom fluorine, oxygen and nitrogen is bonded with hydrogen, and it is generally observed where this electronegative difference will be maximum or even highest. So highest for HF, that it shows strong strength of hydrogen bonding, right? So HF exists in liquid state, others exist in gaseous state, HCl, HBr or HI. One more important thing, we will also discuss of fluorine form two type of oxides, O2F2 and OF2, and others form many oxide. Right, so this is anomalous behavior of that. Reactivity toward hydrogen. Again, this is very important. Reactivity toward hydrogen. Many question came on the basis of this table also. So with hydrogen they form hydrogen halides, hydrogen fluoride, hydrogen chloride, hydrogen bromide and hydrogen iodide. Melting point of generally, as I have already told, that in the first part, that as down the group melting point increase, right? Down the group melting point increase, and here it is also true in HCl, HBr or HI cases, but due to hydrogen bonding, melting point of HF increase unexpectedly and just lower than HI. So the order of melting point will be least for HCl, then for HBr, then for HF, and then for HI. So maximum for HI and minimum for HCl. Due to hydrogen bonding, melting point of hydrogen fluoride increase. Boiling point is highest for HF. It is again due to hydrogen bonding. Bond length and bond dissociation, the same criteria again would be followed. that bond length least for HF and bond strength most for HF. There's no two fluorine atoms, that's why no repulsion. In F2 there is two fluorine atoms, 6 low pair electrons, and that's why the repulsion is there. Otherwise bond length is inversely proportional to bond dissociation enthalpy. And these two that bond dissociation enthalpy shows that least for HI, it means HI easily gives hydrogen in solution. So that's why HI is strong reducing agent as well as highest acidic amongst hydrogen halide. It easily gives hydrogen, that's why it is easily act as reducing agent, reduce some other one, and it easily give hydrogen ion in solution as well, and that's why it is highly acidic. You can see acidic strength of these acids varies in the order HI for maximum stability. Accordingly, those have highly acidic are least stable. Acidic strength is inversely proportional to stability. Most that is acidic will be least stable. So the stability order I already mentioned earlier that bond dissociation enthalpy will decide the stability order. So maximum bond dissociation enthalpy, maximum will be stability. pKa value, those have least acidic have highest pKa, those have most acidic have least pKa. pKa value is inversely proportional to acidic strength. Reaction with oxygen, this is again a very important case. Mostly oxides of halogens are unstable. Fluorine only form OF2 and O2F2. Those are thermally stable at 298 Kelvin and are strong fluorinating agent. They oxidizes plutonium to plutonium fluoride. Nuclear waste from a spent nuclear, this process is used to removing plutonium from a spent nuclear fuel. It is actually nuclear waste. So this is very important and highly fluorinating, strongly fluorinating agent it is. Chlorine, bromine and iodine form oxide in which the oxidation state of these halogen ranges from +1 to +7, and the interesting fact is this: kinetic and thermodynamic factors leads to the generally decreasing order of stability of oxides forming by halogen ICl and Br. It means oxides of iodine are strongly or highly stable and oxides of bromine are least stable. Higher stability of oxide of iodine is due to greater polarizability of bond between iodine and oxygen. We know due to big size of iodine, it has high polarizability. Covalent character of the compound is highest, and that's why the stability of oxides is highest. But in case of chlorine, it has small size, so it can form multiple bond with oxygen as well. Stable multiple bond. Iodine can also form multiple bond with oxygen, but the stability of bond depends on extent of overlapping, remember. And if the size of two atoms is comparable, in that case stability of bond would be highest. So the size of chlorine and oxygen relatively more comparable as compared to size of iodine and oxygen. That's why chlorine can form multiple bonds, and that's why the stability of chlorine oxides also relatively higher. So polarizability is best criteria, and then multiple bond formation. And due to moderate characteristics, bromine lacks both the characteristics, and hence oxides of it is least stable. The higher oxides of halogen tend to be more stable than the lower ones. Chlorine oxides are highly reactive oxidizing agent, tend to explode ClO2 is used as a bleaching agent for paper pulp and textile and water treatment also. Bromine oxides are the least stable halogen oxides and exist only at low temperature, and they are very powerful oxidizing agent. And the iodine oxides are insoluble, solid and decompose on heating. I2O5 is very good oxidizing agent and used in the estimation of carbon monoxide. Right. Reactivity toward metal. Halogen react with metal to form ionic metal halides. For example, bromine react with magnesium to give magnesium bromide. So they react with halogens react with almost all metals and form ionic halides generally, except that beryllium halide or the lithium halide. Ionic character decrease down the group, least for iodides and most for fluorides, right? One important note I already mentioned earlier, that covalent character highest in higher oxidation state and lower in lower oxidation state. You can see some examples also given here. SnCl4 had the more covalent character than SnCl2. PbCl4 has more covalent character than PbCl2. So lower one has more ionic character and higher one has more covalent character. Right? So remember it.